So before we start glazing, I want to talk about a little bit of what is a glaze. Glaze right now is a ceramic material that you apply on the bisware, and then once you apply on the bisware, you have to fire to a specific temperature. Once you fire to a specific temperature, the glaze actually melt and create a little glass and then put it on the surface, okay? So all our glaze right here is a cone 10. Like I said earlier, it's about 2380 Fahrenheit. And one interesting thing, so when you come to the studio, is you have to look at the glaze. And you get some of the glaze, like these glaze, already settled for the whole semester. Didn't really have anybody use it, okay? So they will have a lot of water content. You can see right here. The top part is all water, okay? These are all water. That means that means when you come in, don't take the water out, because the content, the consistency of the glaze, when we mix it, we have calculated the water in there already. And the reason that water is floating on the top is because the clay settle on the bottom throughout the time if you don't use them. And so sometimes the glaze will settle, and then it's really hard to for you to use it. And so therefore, before you come to studio, you want to use the glaze. You always have to stir the glaze, okay? That's first things, because again, have a lot of water content on the surface. These are all water right in here. You can see right here. And secondly, once you start stirring, and then you will kick up the material, then we'll have a nice suspension, and that's the time you're going to do the glazing. Okay. Now, second things I want you to notice in the studio is what you see is not what you're getting, okay? So, for example, right here, this is called tamoku. That means this glaze, if you coat 2 coats, probably give you black, and you can see there's nothing is black at all. This is like a little reddish right in here, okay? And then this one right here is actually called K9. So I will give you blue, tint of a blue with a little darker yellow in here. But again, you can see this nothing looks like a blue at all. So do not come into the studio and say, oh, that looks pretty, I'm gonna glaze like that. No, because after you fire to cone 10, everything, the glaze will melt, the glaze was specific, will do its things, and then they will turn differently. So what you do is always refer back to the glaze chart, and then so you can see what does it look like, and then according to your clay body also will reflect differently. So I'm going to start stirring it right here. You can see we have a toilet brush, not because you're going to do the toilet cleaning, but we're going to use that to suspend the glaze, and then you just have to keep stirring, okay? And I notice that sometimes students just stir like through, like 5 times and say, oh, it's going to be fine. No. You need to really spin it. You need to really kicking all the glaze up on the bottom. I would say maybe at least 60 times. I do 60 times on everything. 60 times wedging, 60 times mixing the glaze. So you can see, notice that actually glaze turned in a little bit more like liquid milk right in here. Okay, non-fat milk, maybe not quite the regular milk right here. So it's a little creamy, and this is the time for you to start glazing. So I'm going to stop the video. We're going to do a little bit glazing after we start. So again, always stir the pot. Always stir your glaze, okay? And another interesting thing is, don't stir your glaze and then go to have a lunch 30 minutes later, come back, because the clay settle again. So again, always stir your pot. What you see the color is not necessarily what you're getting. Check the chart, okay?